Fnatic weren't supposed to win. They were a great team, but when the games mattered most, they always choked. And yet another trophy was slipping through their fingers.
All of these crucial rounds are going the way of Loud.
And for Fnatic, under that pressure, we were waiting. Will Fnatic choke? Will they have that moment where they crumble? And under Loud's pressure, it's happening.
Breaks it up, flash play, poster fully blind, and with every shot rattled, it feels like the nail in the coffin. It's a scramble, a mad dash to make the most of the round, but they are being collapsed, they are being swarmed. And Loud in control of their own destinies.
At that point, any other team looks at that exact situation and they think, it's wraps, go next.
A win from 11-3 down was impossible, but Fnatic were not ready to give up.
Biding his time, Aspas, a bit of spam will do it. Trying to reset the aim, wide swing, flick of the wrist, Durka shuts it down. Noise everywhere, the double swing! Spray down! Fnatic have essentially got this one all tied up. One round away, and the fight is over. 14-12, denying the reverse sweep. Fnatic, they pull off the impossible.
All right, so before we get into Fnatic's incredible comeback, I want to remind you all to please like the video, sub to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of our newest content. I'd also like to remind you that we have merch. Head over to shop.thescore.com and check it out. And now, let's get back to our story. Fnatic has been a household name in Valorant from the start, but despite their best efforts, they didn't really have a lot to show for it. After a promising start, their first international tournament ended in disappointment.
Magnum's in the smoke here, 10
Oh my God!
Oh, Magnum's got no HP, not like this! Sentinels, they're gonna get the defuse, they've done it! Sentinels are the masters to Reykjavik champions, and they do it flawlessly. They didn't drop a single map.
Fnatic were so close to glory, but fell at the final hurdle, and were forced to watch Sentinels lift Valorant's first ever international trophy. Fnatic's IGL, Boaster, is one of the community's most beloved figures. He's brash, he's charismatic, he's fun.
Yeah, we're looking to hopefully bring in Durka for the first game, so we're going to be coming out guns blazing, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a bit chilly in here, my balls have shrunk, you know what I mean?
But despite his positive attitude and popularity, that was the closest that Fnatic would come to winning an international event for years. The team's core, Boaster, Durka, and Mini, kept trying, but tournament after tournament, victory eluded them. They fell victim to Crew's Cinderella run at Champions 2021. Then they bombed out of Iceland in 2022. And at Masters Copenhagen, they were defeated by FPX, continuing their streak of coming up short at international lands. Fnatic did have a respectable showing at Champions a couple of months later, but that just wasn't good enough. Fnatic were a very good team, but in spite of all the talent on their roster, when it came down to it, they just couldn't win when it mattered most. They picked up a reputation as chokers, also rans. Time and time again, they just weren't good enough. So heading into 2023, Fnatic made some big signings. They brought on a promising prospect, Leo, and added some much needed LAN experience with former Masters winner, Chronicle. On paper, Fnatic were now a super team. This was the best roster they'd ever fielded. People were excited to see them play, but it also meant that there was even more pressure for them to perform.
The player quality on the team is so obscene. I mean, Chronicle has proven that he's a god on land. Leo was a god with Guild. I mean, the talent on the team is so outrageous.
And Fnatic's first test was at Lock-In in São Paulo, a tournament featuring just about every major team in Valorant. It was a single elimination bracket, which meant that every match, every map mattered. Fnatic were definitely one of the stronger teams going in, but their reputation made it hard to believe that they could go deep. But Fnatic got off to a tear. They were so dominant that they made it all the way to the final without dropping a single map.
Yeah, the spike was planted, but there's no way the kills will come through. Chronicle gets the defuse. Valorant has shown many aspire, but few attain, and the pursuit of greatness persists for Fnatic.
For the first time since their heartbreak at Masters Reykjavik back in 2021, Boaster, Mini, and Durka were finally in the grand finals of an international event. After years of heartbreak, years of almosts, they finally had a chance at redemption, an opportunity to prove that they had what it took to overcome their curse.
Yeah, and for the core of this team, the guys that were playing on that Reykjavik stage, Durka, Boaster, their coach Mini, this means so much to them because over the last 2 years, since that happened, they have been through 5 different main roster players, have been trying to find the right mix. But here at Lock-In, it seems like they have the perfect recipe. Pick up a star-studded duo in the offseason of Leo and Chronicle, keep the great strategy and ideas that you've always had, and it's just working, ball.
But the final at Lock-In was a hell of a lot scarier than the one in Iceland 2 years prior. Coming out of the other side of the bracket were the defending world champions, Loud, and this time they had the home crown advantage. Brazilian fans came out in droves to show support for their home team, and playing against them in that atmosphere was always going to be an uphill battle. Fnatic entered the arena to a sea of boos, but once the match got underway, it became clear that they were not going to let the crowd set the pace.
2 to 2v2. And Boaster's taking it. Half of the defuse. Gets out of his life, and Leo, what is that? Just nigh impossible to keep them in the map. On their favored stationary ground, still held down. And that 13th round is claimed. Fnatic off to a fantastic lead. Done across, Chronicle! 2 found, Aftershock pushes them away, but it's all too little and all too late. Out for year with all the time in the world, and that is just brutal. Second map claimed here in this grand finals.
Fnatic were 1 map away from lifting the Lock-In trophy and becoming only the 2nd team ever to win an international event without dropping a map. They looked unstoppable.
Even you could tell even the crowd was starting to feel discouraged. At that point, when you're down 2-0 in a BO5, odds are pretty slim.
But, of course, Boaster and his crew had been here before, and it had never gone their way. Loud weren't willing to just roll over. They were not going to be embarrassed on their home turf. They regrouped and hit back on map 3, taking split and denying Fnatic their perfect run. Then, on Lotus, they trounced Fnatic again.
Jiggle of the movement, everything to play for, and every player falling. Loud do it!
This was when Fnatic really started to sweat. Loud had all the momentum. Fnatic looked broken. They let victory slip through their fingers. It was happening again. Fnatic were choking when it mattered most.
Like the desk was talking about, something historic is bound to occur. You either get the back-to-back winners in front of the home crowd, pulling off the first reverse sweep in VCT history, or you get Fnatic defying the choking narrative, hoisting their trophy, and Chronicle becoming the most decorated player.
Before the 5th map even starts, I thought to myself, it's over. Fnatic have lost. Not only are they known for choking, now they're in the highest pressure situation, which is where you are on map 5 on being on the receiving end of a reverse sweep. There is nothing more that could possibly be more pressure-inducing, more choke-inducing.
And once things got underway, Fnatic looked absolutely lost.
Late to be broken, but it is that pivot, and a wedge is being driven. It's up to Sadak. What a containment! And what a kill to claim! Loud taking the pistol.
Does the lockdown get invested? Yes, it does. Huge investment from Sadak. Javier, he's got half.
Sticking! Nothing afforded, no time! Half on the defuse! You've got to be kidding! Listen, Aspas pulling this one back from the brink. Can you expect anything less? Rookies turn veterans. Nothing left unsaid, nothing left untold! And it's just a collapse! Inexorable is the feeling. Loud with a 9-3 lead.
Loud have brought this series back from the brink of defeat to a 9-3 scoreline. First half, Icebox Mimi. It's all but one.
It is truly incredible what Loud has been able to achieve here. In front of their home crowd, they have made a run back that no one else has been able to do. And for Fnatic, under that pressure, we were waiting. Will Fnatic choke? Will they have that moment where they crumble? And under Loud's pressure, it's happening.
Fnatic were getting decimated. Aspis had taken control of the game, and the home crowd was loving it. If Fnatic were to have even a glimmer of hope, they'd have to win the pistol round.
They've been immaculate, but this might just be too much. Aspas, 3 in a round, sticking the spike, pistol is theirs. It's a scramble, a mad dash to make the most of the round, but they are being collapsed, they are being swarmed. And Loud in control of their own destinies.
11-3. It was all but over. After losing the pistol and the force buy, it looked as if Boaster and Fnatic had choked again. Their 2-map lead had disappeared in the blink of an eye.
At that point, any other team looks at that exact situation and they think, it's wraps. Go next.
Loud were just 2 rounds away from lifting the trophy before Mini finally called a Fnatic timeout.
Honestly, I did feel a bit defeated, but at the same time, I was just like, round by round, I guess. That's, yeah, like I was just trying to think how was I going to call to win us the game and then to make the boys hopefully get us the win.
It was now or never for Boaster and Fnatic. If they were going to somehow bring this game back, they needed a miracle. There was 0 room for mistakes.
Dash fade, still high ground taken. He's given a hop across and just guesses incorrectly. So, it's Fnatic that survive. They are going to pull off the impossible. It has to be 1 round at a time. Damage done though, Durka, that's good. Biding his time, Aspas, a bit of spam will do it. Trying to reset the aim, wide swing, flick of the wrist, Durka shuts it down.
Once you do get to that point where you feel like, okay, all is lost, like there's almost no chance of us winning anymore, let's just give it everything we got. Just take it round by round. And I think at that point, it's honestly freeing. Because now, all that pressure of like, don't choke this, don't choke this, don't choke this, it's like, oh, we've already choked it. It's already gone. Might as well just play our own game now. And they did it. They showed just how good they actually are.
Cove in play, gives him a bit of covering fire, but that's going to get spammed down 2 years. Half on it. A dodge and skip out for the air, making sure to adjust the angles. And it's Fnatic who close in. A steady improvement, round after round.
That's 6 in a row right now. Pulling the gap close, forcing Loud onto another eco, and the game is on. What an insane shift in this series. Fnatic are in the driver's seat.
Anything to make this doable. A tap on the spike, Aspas! Jet Force, it's all down to Alpha yet. Noise everywhere, the double swing! Spray down! Big flash play through, and it's a collateral!
Durka runs Icebox with 1 player left to go. Fnatic have essentially got this one all tied up. 1 round away.
And the fight is over! 14-12, denying the reverse sweep! Fnatic, they pull off the impossible!
Fnatic made history that day. Not only did Boaster, Durka, and Mini finally get their trophy, but Fnatic pulled off the greatest comeback Valorant has ever seen on a single map. And it was because they simply refused to give up. They proved all the doubters wrong and broke the choking narrative that had haunted them since their loss in Reykjavik in 2021. Fnatic turned an arena of screaming Brazilian fans into a library, as many of them silently left the venue while Fnatic got to lift their trophy, although the players didn't take any offense. And for Boaster, who waited so long for this moment, it meant everything.
Half an hour ago, we were 11-2 down or something, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm gonna go second again. But my teammates are really good, and we somehow pulled rounds out of the bag. Sorry. Oh. I don't know why I'm crying. Little baby. No, I'm fine. Yeah, It was just a really good series. Yeah, love Valorant, mate.
Fnatic never gave up. They never gave in. Despite choking over and over again, they always got back up. And when things looked as lost as they'd ever been, they pushed back.
I would say, I think for me as a learning experience, having that to go down 11-3 and also losing 2 maps in a row, like I said, the psychology thing, like, it's a big thing that we can learn from, that no one, like, only a small amount of people would ever experience.
Fnatic used their triumph at lock-in as a stepping stone to establishing themselves as the best Valorant team in the world, becoming the first squad to lift consecutive trophies in 2023. But that one moment, that one map, proved that they were more than just chokers. They were heroes who could fight back against impossible odds.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique, bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.